In order to give the flooring a material, first of all, we would check the rendering setting. We would go to the rendering setting here, click on the render setup. We'll go down to the drop-down list to find the assigned renderer. Click on the panel and make sure the production is assigned to Scanline renderer. If you don't have the Scanline renderer as an option, just click on the small box next to it and choose Scanline renderer. Also make sure the active shade is also in Scanline renderer. So choose the Scanline renderer. So both of them, the production and the active shade, both of them should be assigned into a Scanline renderer. Click on Save as Default, so the next time you open up your 3ds Max project or file, you would have the Scanline renderer on. OK. And then I will open up the material panel, so I will basically click on the M letter on the keyboard to open up the material slots. So just basically click on any material slot or sphere and name it flooring tile. Also, if you don't have standard assigned here, you can click on the box where it says standard and type in standard and choose the standard material. Now, note that the material here, the standard material, would only work when the rendering engine or the rendering setup is assigned into Scanline. So this is why we change first our rendering setup into Scanline, and then we will pick the standard material. So I'll just double click on it. Okay. So make sure that the standard basic parameter is in B-line, and then we will go to the diffuse. I will click on the small box here. I would open up the material map browser. I will add tiles. So just basically write tiles. I will choose the first one, which is the general tile. Just double click on it. As you can see here, there is another parameter that has been opened up, and here it changed to tiles. So if I wanted to go back, I basically click on go to parent, which leads me to the original parameters. So I just click on it. I would go into the standard parameter. If I wanted to go into my material tile or my tiles that I have added, I just simply click on the box again, and then it will open up the tiling parameter. To have a clear understanding of my material, I would double click on the sphere here to view it, to have a clear view. So here is the standard control, the preset type, which basically the shape of my tiling. I can have it as a stack bond or maybe a running bond. If I wanted to have, for example, a different tiling method. So I will open up the advanced control. The advanced control allow me to further modify the tiles. So here is the texture that I'm going to add on the tile. Here are also the horizontal and the vertical count. So when I increase the vertical count, the division it has been added accordingly. Here, if I wanted to have a parquet tiling, so I would go for the less horizontal count and more vertical counts. Here is also the grout setup. So the grout is basically the lines that divide each tile. So I could decrease the gaps between them to make them appear more natural. I could also make it 0.5 if I want to. So now I'm going to add a texture on my tile. So here next to the tile setup, I would click on the none, and I will add a bitmap. Bitmap, I will simply add a picture to the tile to represent as a material. You can choose any tiling texture from the internet, but make sure that you choose a high resolution texture. For example, this tiling. Okay, so the mapping of the tile is not really matching the actual grout or actual division of the tile. So it needs a little bit more modification. So let's go here to the coordinates. So here I will have the bitmap, which allows me to open up the parameters that contribute to the image that I have chosen. So let's go where rotate is. I just click on the rotate, and it will allow me to just click and drag the direction of the rotation. So for example, I would click here and I would rotate it or I could also change the angle directly from the UVW, make it 90 degrees. So in order to go back to the tile parameter, I just click go to parent here. Let's go back to the tiling parameter. As you can see here, the texture has been added. And here is the name of the photo that I have added. I can also go back to the original parameter that I have added, which is the standard material. So this is the material. I keep adding more layers to have this final result. So now I'm going to apply it into the flooring. So I just I'll make sure that I'm selecting the floor, and I will click here assign material to selection. Sometimes it won't be appear till I click the button here which says show shaded material in the viewport. So I'll click on it. Okay. So here I can see that the tile is so big comparing to the room. So the scale is so big, and I need to increase the scaling. So I would go back to my tiles parameter. So from here, where it says diffuse, I would click again to the box where it says M on it, which means the second material that I have applied, the tile material. So in the coordinate here where it says tiles, I can increase the, when I increase the value, the scale it's going to be decreased. So here I could double the scale, increase the scale by a half. Let us increase it, like decrease the scale more. Okay, so it starts to get smaller, the scale starts to be smaller. Let's say 8. I could also decrease the horizontal count whenever I'd like to be decreased. And if I wanted to increase the gaps between them to be more present, I could increase the grout texture, but the smaller that it is, the better it will look, the more natural it will look. If I want to test it as I will click on render to have a quick look at the tile. So here I have selected a specific region only to view my tiling. As you can see here, the tile is being looking more natural, and the ground between them it's kind of small, so that's how it look a little. That would have, you know, a more natural look.